The error code F12 can have different meanings depending on the brand of the air conditioning unit. In this video, we will explore the main brands that use the F12 code to indicate issues and the ways to correct these problems. 1. For HAIR and MABE air conditioners, the F12 error can appear in inverter units on the outdoor unit. This error is related to issues with the EEPROM on the outdoor electronic board. 2. In contrast, for the Sanyo brand, the F12 code is related to problems with the temperature sensor located on the outdoor unit. This sensor measures the ambient temperature outside through the air suctioned by its fan. 3. For the Toshiba brand, the F12 error code refers to a problem with the evaporator coil temperature sensor. 4. In Panasonic units, the F12 code indicates issues with the compressor intake temperature sensor. 5. In General Electric G, the F12 code is an indication of a problem with the CO2 sensor. This sensor is responsible for detecting the level of carbon dioxide in the air and adjusting the air conditioner's operation accordingly. When the sensor malfunctions, it triggers the F12 error code, causing the unit to shut down to prevent potential contamination hazards. Now let's look at how to effectively resolve each of the mentioned issues. Let's study the troubleshooting for EEPROM issues that cause the F12 code. 1. Turn off the unit and disconnect it from the power supply. Wait several minutes before reconnecting it. 2. Reconnect the unit and turn it on. 3. Observe if the F12 error appears immediately. In many brands, when the problem is specifically with the EEPROM memory, the unit might change the value or number of the error code several times. 4. Examine the electronic module where the F12 code is displayed. Look for any visible damage. Locate the controller on the board and the nearest integrated circuit with 8 terminals, 4 on each side. 5. There is a possibility that the problem is related to a nearby resistor to the EEPROM memory. Take a detailed measurement of all resistors near the memory. 6. If any resistor does not have a value close to what it should be carefully replaced. 7. Once the resistor is replaced, try to operate the unit again to see if the F12 error has disappeared. If the error persists, the problem might be directly related to the EEPROM memory. 8. In case of issues with the EEPROM, the memory must be replaced with another that has the proper programming or that has belonged to another electronic board of the same model as the one we are repairing. The EEPROM is a type of storage memory that allows data to be written, erased, and rewritten electronically. It is used to store information non-volatilely in electronic devices, such as configurations or data that need to be retained even when the power is turned off. Regardless of the type of temperature sensor causing the problem, the diagnostic and correction procedure follows the same steps. A. Disconnect the equipment from the power supply for several minutes. Then, turn the equipment back on and check if the fault code persists. B. Visually inspect the position of the temperature sensor. C. Visually check the sensor connection and the connection to both the external and internal electronic modules. D. Use a multimeter to check the electrical resistance of the sensor. Disconnect the sensor and measure its resistance with the multimeter set to the kilo-ohm scale. E. If you have the sensor's resistance and temperature chart. Compare the measured value with the chart values. If you don't have the chart, measure the resistance while rubbing the sensor with your hand. The resistance should decrease. F. The resistance value should never be 0 or infinite. G. With the sensor connected and the electronic board powered on, measure the voltage supplied by the board, with the multimeter set to the DC voltage scale. This value should be around 2.5 volts.